the value equation is shifting in favor of high-end electric vehicles, particularly as demand for gasoline-powered vehicles declines. Automobile manufacturers have spent the last year announcing plans for electric vehicle models and manufacturing facilities. As a result, 2022 will be a year in which an increasing number of consumers will consider if it is time to purchase their first EV. Is it worthwhile to take the risk? That is likely to be determined by the price point and market category in question. In our opinion, the higher your price point, the more you should consider purchasing an EV now rather than waiting a couple of years. Here are a few reasons why. For starters, automakers are releasing higher-end vehicles before lower-end models, so the choice is better at the top end. There's also the problematic prospect of considering future residual values for old automobiles. Demand for gasoline-powered cars will be declining, so buying a new one now means it'll be worth much less by the time you're ready to trade up. It's crucial to remember that manufacturers' behaviors influence a lot of consumer behavior. Investors have signaled to automakers that they would be rewarded for hastening the transition to electric vehicles, while profits from gasoline-powered vehicles will primarily support those investments. Following Tesla Inc.'s lead, higher-end models, since that is where consumer demand is highest and because it is easier to be profitable at higher price points, while sales volumes remain considerably below gasoline vehicles. Consumers will be tempted even more if industry tastemakers give these new, expensive EV automobiles good grades. Rivian's $74,000 R1T was chosen Truck of the Year by Motor Trend magazine, and the even more expensive Lucid Air was named Vehicle of the Year. Both vehicles have enormous waiting lists and have only recently begun customer delivery. Perhaps you've been impressed by what you've seen so far, but you want to wait a little longer until EV infrastructure, such as charging stations, is further developed. However, the value assessment for purchasing any new vehicle includes what the vehicle will be worth years later when you're ready to trade it in or sell it. The average length of time the drivers keep new vehicles is 6 years. So, if you buy a new vehicle in 2022, you should consider the used car market in 2028 or later. The demographics of electric vehicle owners are similar to Tesla CEO Elon Musk's, male 40 to 55 years old, with an annual household income of more than $100,000. Nat Bullard, one of my colleagues, just shared some additional data on EV consumer demographics. The percentage of new electric vehicles sold in the United States in 2022 may still be in the single digits, but for this group, it will be far higher. Looking ahead to 2028, when the overall market share of EVs in the United States may be as high as 30%, the majority of affluent younger and middle-aged consumers may be purchasing electric vehicles and trucks. This will have a significant impact on the value of used gasoline-powered automobiles, as fewer customers will be available with each passing year. While there may still be a solid market for used Honda Accords, in 2028, the market for second-hand gasoline-powered $40,000 sedans and sport utility vehicles is likely to be more precarious as individuals in that sector transition to EVs. Meanwhile, despite the fact that the Tesla Model 3 is still in its early stages of development, the market for second-hand Tesla Model 3s has been solid. The cumulative effect of advertising campaigns should therefore not be neglected. Automakers aren't pouring tens of billions of dollars developing EVs just to sit on factory and dealer lots. They'll also utilize ad campaigns to persuade customers that they work for tech-savvy, forward-thinking organizations. By 2028, automakers will want affluent vehicle buyers to believe that gasoline-powered automobiles are as cool as floppy disks or having a landline, which your grandfather still has in his house. What about the price? Goldman Sachs noted in a recent research note that some parts of the EV industry are already cost-competitive with gasoline-powered vehicles after fuel and maintenance expenses are taken in. Savings calculated out to roughly $1,000 per year using a $3 per gallon gasoline pricing. So buying a $60,000 EV pays for itself after about 5 years when compared to a $55,000 gasoline-powered vehicle. And that's before you factor in tax breaks. It's difficult to draw broad conclusions here because different states have varying incentive amounts, and at the national level, a manufacturer like Tesla has used up its allotment of incentives while other automakers that haven't sold as many EVs have some left over. It's also possible that future technology advances will result in a radically new type of battery powering vehicles. there's still reason to believe that a new gasoline-powered vehicle purchased in 2022 will retain a reasonable value in the second-hand market by the end of the decade for utilitarian, budget-conscious automobile customers. However, it is less certain for wealthier consumers, those high-end purchasers who are debating whether to wait a little longer to make their next vehicle an EV might consider doing so in the new year. And with that being said, it's time to end our video. Are you planning to buy any EV in 2022? Let us know in the comments. Like this video and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more amazing videos like this. We'll see you in the next video.